Happy Royal Rumble Sunday to all of you out there. This is your Worlds Collide 2020 review. This is also another installment of Around the Point. I want to thank all of you for tuning in back into the channel. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up and share it through social media. You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. It's crazy that later tonight, I'm going live not once, not twice, but 3 times. Yes, 3 times because it's a Royal Rumble Sunday, right? We are going live later tonight for 2 Wrestle Companions, one for the Men's Rumble match, another one for the Women's Rumble match, and then later on, once the Rumble is over with, I'll be going live with the live edition of Around the Point, where I give my overall thoughts on the show. The good, the bad, the ugly. So if you're not yet subbed to the channel, hit that sub button, hit that bell icon, be notified when I upload, when I go live, and all that fun stuff. In case you guys don't know yet by now, Around the Point is available on major podcasting platforms. Yes, Around the Point is available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn, Google Play Music, Anchor, and now we've been added to Spotify. So if you have these platforms, search us there, Around the Point, and download it on the go, listen to Around the Point on the go and all that stuff. If you have Apple Podcasts, give us the 5-star rating and give us a comment and all that stuff. I would really appreciate that. Now, again, I know a lot of people right now are doing their planning for the Rumble parties. They're buying the chips, the dip, the soda, the beer, whatever it is, how they're going to get down, right? I got friends that have actually traveled to Houston for the event, for the weekend. To those people that have traveled, I am there in spirit. I hope all of you are having a wonderful time and all that fun stuff as we kick off now the road to WrestleMania. Now, I did watch Worlds Collide. I didn't watch it live like everyone else. While the show was happening live, I was at work. So I caught the replay when I got home. I literally finished watching the show a couple of hours ago. And now here I am doing this recording at 12:03 p.m. So there you go with that. And I gotta say, overall, I thought Worlds Collide was a very enjoyable show. Again, usually with WWE, when they have like a pay-per-view, like a major one, like a Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, they'll do a takeover for NXT. But this year, because they're having a takeover in Portland a couple of weeks from now, right? I think 3 weeks from Sunday, they decided to do a Worlds Collide show. NXT versus NXT UK. I thought it was enjoyable. If they can do this again, maybe do it like a two shows a year. Maybe next time do it SummerSlam weekend. In my humble opinion, but again, we'll see. But for what they gave you here, I thought overall it was a very, very enjoyable show. Guys, give me your thoughts in the comment threads below. Your thoughts on Worlds Collide. What was your favorite match and all that stuff? I really do want to hear it. If not, let me know on Twitter at HeelSteven. So we kick off with the pre-show. I didn't watch the pre-show, but it was Mia Yim versus Kaylee Ray. Kaylee Ray got the win after she countered the O'Connor roll, and I guess she pinned Mia Yim with leverage from the top rope. So there you go with that. We then kick off the main card, which I did watch. We had Finn Balor versus Elijah Dragunov. And I thought this was a very good way to kick off the show. I did say that this could easily be the match of the weekend, the match of the night, if you will. Was it that? Again, depends on who you talk to. But I thought overall, this was a very good way to kick off the show. Elijah Dragunov, and I said this before, he's someone that when he goes out there, he amazes people, right? Now, granted, I'm someone that doesn't watch NXT UK every single week. I don't, okay? But I know some of the names that are there, and Dragunov is someone that has always impressed me when I do watch it. And he was amazing a couple of months ago when he wrestled Cesaro at TakeOver Cardiff. And here he is against Finn Balor, former Intercontinental Champion, former Universal Champion, all that stuff, right? And he held his own with someone like Finn Balor. Finn Balor made this guy look like $1 million. It was a good back and forth, good near fall from both guys here. When it was all said and done, Finn Balor hit the coup de grace, followed by the 1916, and Dragunov and Balor got the win. And I'll say this too, and I know that they're doing this whole crossover thing with some of the NXT UK guys. Like we'll see Walter at NXT usually with Imperium. We'll see guys such as them or Rio or Tony Storm and stuff like that, right? If we can, please Can we get Elijah Dragunov on NXT on Wednesdays on the USA? I'm just saying. Can you imagine, right? The matches you could have with Dragunov on regular NXT. Dragunov versus Johnny Gargano, Dragunov versus Matt Riddle, Dragunov versus, I don't know, someone like freaking Tommaso Ciampa. The list goes on, right? The list goes on of all the matches you can make with Dragunov on NXT US. Dragunov versus Roderick Strong. Just saying. But again, that's my only request coming out of this. And hopefully we get to see more of Elijah Dragunov down the road. But again, I thought here he held his own. Balor made him look like $1 million. And again, it's amazing how someone like Dragunov, you put him in these profile matches with these names and he's able to hang on there and again to stand his own. Amazing. We then had Kathy Kelly interview both the Grizzled Young Veterans and the Broserweights, who both teams, as you all know, are in the finale of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and they were both, again, sitting in the crowd. They want you to believe that when they show the camera to the wrestlers that are in the crowd at these takeover shows, oh, they're there with the fan, but they're just planted there for the camera view and shit like that. And again, it was announced that the winner of the Dusty Classic will also receive a tag team championship match at TakeOver Portland. So again, both teams are hyping each other up, how they're going to win and stuff like that. Fine, no problem. We had a fatal 4-way for now the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Angel Garza defending his championship versus Jordan Devlin, Isaiah Swerve Scott, and Travis Banks. The Cruiserweight Championship has been redesigned. Instead of the purple belt that we've all loved and hate or stuff like that, right? Known to hate, how the fuck you want to refer to it as. It's now like a black strap, but when you look close to it, it's like a dark purple strap, right? That's what it looks like to me. But instead of the WWE logo, it now has the NXT logo, just now, again, just clarifying now more that it's now the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, which is fine, honestly. That belt we more appreciate with the NXT crowd than it would with the main roster crowd. That's just my opinion, of course. Again, I thought this match, honestly, was a very enjoyable match. I feel like every guy here got their moment to shine, got their spots in. People were chanting, "This is awesome," and shit like that. My one critique in this whole thing: Travis Banks does a Canadian Destroyer, I want to say, to Jordan Devlin. And he hits the Canadian Destroyer and doesn't go for the cover. And here's the thing about it, okay? We've seen this in wrestling already so many times where the Canadian Destroyer has become a transitional move where you hit it and then that's it. And it becomes like a follow-up move to something. It becomes a follow-up move to something else. It's become the new SuperKick. Like, I've seen everyone now and their mother hit the Canadian Destroyer. Hell, Ricky Morton is even doing the Canadian Destroyer like it's nothing. And I feel, again, to me, it just becomes annoying. It's funny, like on Twitter, P.D. Williams, the guy who's, I don't want to say he originated the move. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But he's the first guy that I ever saw years ago hit this move, right? Goes on Twitter and had to apologize the fact that this move has become a transitional move now. And it's sad. It really is sad. Everyone now and their mother does it. P.D. Williams should be collecting royalties over this shit, in my opinion. You know? But I remember years ago, when I was a kid, right? And I just started watching TNA. Like, I searched TNA up, whatever, right, when I was a kid. And I saw this guy named P.D. Williams from Team Canada hit this move. It was like in the video packages, right? And it's P.D. Williams hitting the Canadian Destroyer. And I was like, holy shit, this is insane. What the fuck? A flip pile driver. And I remember going to school the next day, showing my friends this move, like, yo, check this out. This is insane. And people were also at all like, wow, this is insane. And this is from a company that's not even WWE. But it was a hell of a move, right? Now, years later, as I get older and you see how wrestling has changed, I get it. It's probably the fact that the business has changed and all that stuff. But I just wish some moves were just kept in respect, in my opinion. That's just me, of course. But that's that, okay? But it looked like, okay, in this match that Garza was going to win because he hit the wing clipper on Scott, but then Devlin broke it and knocked Garza down with a headbutt. And then Devlin hit the Devon slide on Scott to win the match and become the Cruiserweight champion. And then after this, Devlin stood on the announce table, cut a promo, and about how you should never bet against the ace, because again, Devlin is the Irish ace, right? And what I get from this now is that, hey, Jordan Devlin is going to be on TV now on Wednesday nights on NXT on the USA, which is cool. Awesome. I think, again, you're giving these guys that platform, the exposure, right, to eventually watch NXT UK. So that's cool. Awesome. At the same time, I didn't really think they would give the belt to someone from NXT UK, but I was wrong. So good on them for that. We then get, again, on a camera spot, right, of people in the crowd. You saw Keith Lee in the crowd with his girlfriend, Mia Yim. And then you also see Chelsea Green and her manager, Robert Stone, the former Robbie E. So there you go. Whatever. I do believe, though, that Keith Lee will be in the Rumble later on tonight, but we'll see. We had what I thought was the match of the night, the dream match that everybody was talking about. DIY versus Mustache Mountain. And oh my, this was, in my opinion, the match of the fucking night. Hands down. Hell, even the match of the weekend. When you think about it, right? Everybody was on their feet. Everybody was just chanting how awesome this match was. Twitter exploded once the match was over with, even during the match too. This was, more importantly, how tag team wrestling is done. To perfection. Fucking perfection. Again, both teams here looked good. They got their spots in. Good near falls from both teams. But it was all said and done. DIY picked up the W to Muscle Ciampa and Gargano. Ciampa pinned Trent Seven after DIY's old finisher, meet in the middle. And again, after the match was all said and done, right? The two teams, they shook hands and they hugged and they embraced. And again, that's cool. But at the same time, though, again, you got to remember, Gargano has a match with Balor coming up in a couple of weeks. You want to give that team, I guess, some momentum and stuff like that. But again, this was everything that tag team wrestling should be. Good back and forth, where the crowd's on a ride almost. The up and down, the flip, and just everything all in one. Amazing stuff. Just fucking amazing. I hope, honestly, down the road they run this back. I really, really do. We then get in the crowd, they show Mercedes Martinez in the crowd. They mentioned how she just signed to NXT. She's been around over the world for all these years. And they also show in the crowd the upcoming challenger to the NXT Championship, Bianca Belair. As you guys know, Bianca Belair is going to meet the winner of either Toni Storm or Rhea Ripley at TakeOver Portland. So there you go. They even showed Dakota Kai. And then out of nowhere, Tegan Nox attacked her from behind. The two brawled. And they're just going back and forth. They were brawling security, try to pull them apart. This Wednesday, Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai will go at it one-on-one on NXT. So again, hype up their match, give some momentum, I guess, just get people to talk about, right? So that's fine. It is what it is. We then had Rhea Ripley defending her NXT Championship versus Toni Storm. Remember, Toni Storm has 2 wins over Rhea Ripley on NXT UK. I thought this match was okay. Nothing to go crazy about. Nothing to go home and brag about, if you will. This match, honestly, at the same time, didn't really do it for me. Honestly, it felt like a television match. And again, I'm not trying to knock this match by no means at all. It was okay for what it was worth. The match literally ended when Storm missed a top rope splash, like a top rope frog splash, right? And there's nobody there, and which allowed Ripley to hit the riptide to win the match. And there was that. Ripley won like that, like it was nothing. Again, she's defending her championship against Bianca Belair. So when it was all said and done, Ripley's on the top turnbuckle. She's celebrating and she's staring at Bianca Belair. Again, they have a match 3 weeks from now. So there you go. They show backstage Gargano being interviewed, I think, by BT Sports. And then Finn Balor attacks Johnny Gargano, just beating the hell out of him, right? All this happening backstage. Trent Seven and Tyler Bate broke it up, allowing Balor to have words with Tyler Bate. It looks like, and I hope it does happen on Wednesday, we get Finn Balor versus Tyler Bate. Because why the fuck not? I'm all on board for that if it happens. I'm all on board for that if it happens. But again, you're hyping up the Gargano Balor match, so why the fuck not? I'm all in on that. We get the main event. The main event of this whole show. Imperium versus the Undisputed Era. The battle of which stable is the best, right? NXT. And I thought this match was another enjoyable match. Early in the match, Alexander Wolf was injured when Bobby Fish kicked him and appeared to connect in the jaw and it knocked him out. Again, accidents happen. I want to believe it was an accident at the end of the day, which left Imperium down 3 guys. And again, just a crazy back and forth match. There's a moment where they take out Walter. Roderick Strong put Walter through the announcer's table with an Olympic slam and apparently kept him out. And you see the Undisputed Era just working on a Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel. Aichner did this fucking moonsault that was fucking impressive, someone of his size, to get that type of speed. Barthel also held his own too. Again, this match was all over the place. Literally was all over the fucking place. And eventually Walter got up. He started chopping people like crazy. What amazed me too, Walter's ability for speed too, because there's a moment where he leaps over Roderick Strong in the match too, but was early in the match. But again, Walter just goes insane, just started chopping people and shit, and eventually he pins Bobby Fish after hitting a powerbomb. So with all of this, just all this mayhem, right? They're down 1 guy, he gets put through a table, right? Again, you think the Undisputed Era was going to win, and they fall short when Walter pins Bobby Fish. And it's funny because I think it was Chase who said this on Twitter, right? Chase Oliver, my friend, by the way. Shout out to him. He says on Twitter, and it's kind of true. If I can find the tweet right now, I'm going to try to find it. But this is true, though, when you think about it. If I can just find this tweet here. Here we go. Here we go. What is it? How the Undisputed Era, right, before any big match, quote, "we're the most dominating faction in WWE. Big match happens, they lose. Next week on NXT or any video package, Undisputed Era, we're the most dominant faction in WWE." Kind of funny when you think about it. Like, how can you say that when you keep losing and shit? But other than that, I enjoyed the match. I really, really did. I think, again, if there's anything on the show that you guys should go back and watch, I would say is the main event and the DIY versus Mustache Mountain match. But again, this was a good way to get people excited for the Royal Rumble, a good way to get people into NXT. Hell, even to watch NXT UK. For those of you that are into stuff like that. But I thought this was a very fun show for what it was worth. At the same time, though, and it caught me by surprise with the commentary, they had Nigel and Tom Phillips. I thought they would have added more Ranallo to this as well. But no, but hey, it is what it is. It's fine. But again, this was a good way to kick off Rumble weekend, get people excited. And guys, give me your thoughts in the comment thread below. Your thoughts on this whole show. Did you like it or not? And all that fun stuff. Again, I'll be back live later on tonight 3 times. I'm doing a live stream for the men's Rumble match. Also for the women's Rumble match with the return of Wrestle Companion. Myself, probably with Big Mike, and we'll see who else will join us. And then later on in the night, once the Rumble is over, it will be a live edition of Around the Point where I review the Royal Rumble and all that fun stuff. So again, if you are not yet, hit that bell icon to be notified when I go live, when I upload a video, all that fun stuff. Again, Around the Point is available on all podcasting platforms right now. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Stitcher. We're on TuneIn. We're on Google Play. We're on Anchor. We're on Spotify. Links to all of those are down below in the description box. Okay? So if you have these platforms, you can listen to Around the Point. Give us a follow button. Give us the 5-star reviews and all that fun stuff, especially on Apple Podcast. All right? It'd be so appreciative if you can do that. All right? And with that being said, guys, I'm going to head out. I'm going to get ready for later on tonight. Happy Rumble Sunday. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Steve, and this has been Around the